a slobber knocker of a game right there.
In all my time, I don't remember somebody scoring 4.
Yeah, if I use a word, jetapult, it's actually a word. People don't realize it.
Good try. No soup for you.
And Trey, go get you some wax beans and
soup to the deli, I know.
yeah, go get you some wax beans and have a good day, man.
Thank you.
First downs for Central Clay for 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Roll call with a spidget.
Roll call. Spidget.
Spidget.
I don't know, man.
You don't know who that is?
I don't know that. I wasn't an 80s hairband guy.
That is Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Aces High, brother.
Okay.
Dave Bush
Take your
went
word
to
for
the
it.
Iron Maiden show in Atlanta. I tried to go to it. It was sold out. But Dave Bush, I know you're watching. He sent me some stuff. But hey,
He's an 80s hairband guy.
he's an 80s hair man, big time. Hey, welcome everybody, and welcome to Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. Of course, Neal's not here. Neal's vacationing again. It seems like every time I turn around, he's on a vacation.
What's a vacation?
I know. What are we doing wrong where we can't vacation?
I don't know. I don't. My vacations always go around a ball field.
Ball field, yeah, I know. Mine does too, mainly.
right.
But anyway, welcome to the show. We got a great show tonight. Again, our co-host James Sparrow, which is no stranger to Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. He actually has helped call some ball games, and we're going to talk about some of those ball games that we did this past week. But I think this is what your second time being on the show.
Yeah, second time.
Second time.
I probably should have wore a hat. These bright lights.
The bright lights,
Sorry,
it
folks
is
at home.
bright in here. But anyway, hey, what's been going on, man?
Not
Everything.
much. Again, just ball.
Just
Man,
ball?
It's a busy time of year for my family as well as a lot of people around in town, and just busy.
Just busy as all get out.
How
Well,
about, but you just got back in town.
I did. I was at the judges conference, and man, guess who I got to meet at the judges conference?
Iron Maiden.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Iron Maiden, but it was Winston Groom. You know who Winston Groom is?
He wrote Forrest Gump. Didn't
He wrote Forrest Gump. There it is, right there. Actually, that's Chief Justice Tom Parker. He's got his hands on Winston Groom, and I'm up there talking or doing something.
I got you.
You know who took that picture? Judge Curtis. He sent
Stephen
that
Curtis.
Stephen
So that's
Curtis.
why it's out of
Yeah, that's
focus.
why it's out of focus. And then Dr. Rich Hobson to the left. But he came and spoke at the judges conference, and they got to ask a lot of questions about his book and, you know, and how it got real popular and stuff. I tell you one thing that I did not know about the book. Forrest Gump was a real big, whirly guy.
Oh, how he wrote it, you mean?
Yeah, how
I
he
got you.
wrote it. He was real huge, like 6'6", 400 pounds, big guy.
Tom Hanks.
And
is not that
then,
big.
yeah, and then when he said that they told him that during the production that they were gonna do Tom Hanks, he couldn't believe it. He was like, "Wow!"
Wow, yeah.
But anyway, it was a great time. We had a good time. We even played golf. We had a golf scramble. Judge Curtis was on my team, and
So y'all did not win.
we did not win at all.
Did you finish last?
We did finish last.
Oh.
Out of 9 teams, our team finished last. How does that happen?
Wow.
And you see me hitting golf balls sometimes in the yard.
I do, and it's amazing you don't have broken windows. But
Got to have
or
more.
I should say more broken windows.
Oh my goodness! But anyway, yeah. It was a good conference and stuff. And then I tell you, it's been real busy because if you've been keeping up with Sports Chat with Neal and Wally, you and I've called a game or two, and then Neal and I called a couple games on TC2. And it's been it was a lot of fun, man. There were some of those games we had over 100 people tuning in.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast. And we thank TC2 for letting us actually do that.
Yeah.
Especially our game, we had a lot because we were doing the Montgomery, Southeast Montgomery
Yeah.
and Troy game. And, man, it was a great game.
It was. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate you asking me to come out there. And you know, that age kids, that was ozone. That's 12 and under. That brings a big crowd. A lot of folks like to watch those kids play, grandmamas, aunts, uncles. But, you know, the fact that Troy Cable put that out there to where those that couldn't come could still see it, it was great. Even the Alexandria game that we were calling together, there were folks that were commenting on the feed, from Alexandria. So, I mean, it was
is that not just cool to live in a place that, like, Troy Cable can produce that? Because we've been all over the place, and you just don't see it. I think the closest something came to was that Jock Jive thing, and I think it folded up under.
Yeah.
But TC2, strong as all get out.
That's right.
We got one question before we go into our first break. Did you watch any of the Wimbledon stuff?
I hadn't watched a lot of tennis since Pete Sampras quit, to be honest with you.
Pete.
That was a long time ago.
This has been our running joke. When will Wimbledon have enough money to raise enough money to concrete their courts? I mean, they're still on grass, man. They got to.
That's the
When
appeal
you're
to
that
Wimbledon.
poor, you got to cut grass to play tennis.
But
on?
that's the appeal to Wimbledon. You play on grass. And French Open, you play on clay.
Well,
It's a different surface.
but you come to the States and we have concrete.
Well,
we have.
that's true.
I mean, but think, poor Wimbledon, y'all help those people out. Give them some money.
By the end of the tournament, it's all worn where they're at.
Yeah, you can't even, man, if a rainstorm comes, you out there and slosh. Well, maybe Wimbledon can do that.
Maybe so.
All right. Well, hey, before we go to our first commercial, we do have to pay the bills. So I'm going to mention a lot of our sponsors here, and we just want to thank Bill Jackson Ford, Turner Mowing, Charles Henderson Foundation, Southern Animal Hospital Pet Resort. I think
Dr.
you
Steve,
got to call Dr.
I
Steve.
need to get a room for Buddy.
Yeah, Marco's Pizza, Health Actions, the UPS Store, Preston's, Hooks Barbecue, Crease Agency, the Pig Cafe, which is, hey, they got a brand new Pig Cafe.
I haven't been. I'm about to go.
I've been looking at the pictures Yanni's been sending now. I mean, it looks real nice. They've
Good.
done a big renovation there. All-Star Collision, Severa, Ralph, Reeves, Baker, and Hastings. Attorneys at law, Jones Medical Supply, which we will have. Brother Jason Jones going to call us at 6:30 tonight.
He calling in to talk about baseball?
I don't know if he's calling in baseball, but he is going to call in about
No, he's not
Trojan
calling.
101,
Oh,
which I
okay.
can't wait to hear.
He doesn't like baseball.
Deep South Apparel, which is I'm wearing one of the Deep South Apparel shirts right now. Stone Cold Heating and Cooling, Simply Southern, Mama Goldberg's Road Mart, Troy Bank and Trust, Glow, Troy Eye Care, Bird Drugs, PC Falk Furniture, Crow's Chicken and Brundage, the Matthews Law Firm in Ozark, Wise Office Supply, K-Rose Fitness, Raymond's, Alabama Restoration, Flows, the Old Barn, Green Hill Funeral Home, Southern Scents and Sensations, that's Amy, and man, they got some good soaps. So, they got goat milk soap.
I just need
Don't
something
you
to get me
need
clean.
some goat milk soap?
I just need something to get me clean. You've seen me come home from work, and I'm not clean. So
Yeah, I know.
if they got something to get me clean, I'll buy it.
Oh, man. And Troy Auto Parts. And we want to thank all of our sponsors. And I tell you, we just keep growing and growing. So I guess Neal and I are doing something right, I guess.
Yeah, either that or you got some pictures of folks.
I don't have no pictures of folks. But I tell you what, we sure enjoy doing this show. And, man, it's been a blast. And I'm going to tell you this before we go to our first commercial break. Me and Neal, we are going to do a 1-year anniversary program. We don't know when it's going to be.
All right.
And we're going to have all our sponsors come on. We're going to have like a little party and stuff. So
That's
to
good.
show our appreciation, we're going to do it all live. We're going to do it here in studio. We're just going to have to ask Mr. Camps if we can use this as a party. We'll have to talk to David, our producer, in just a second. But again, but we got that look to look forward to. And again, as always, David Doty, our executive producer, back that you can't see right now, but
He does a great job.
Such a good job. So with that, we're going to take our first commercial break, and we'll be right back to start talking about some Dixie baseball and softball.
Man, what's that noise? What are you doing with that air conditioner heating unit?
Neal, my air conditioner went out last night, and I'll tell you what, I watch YouTube, and I know how to do all this stuff now.
Look, Wally, this could be really dangerous, man. You need to call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling, 268-0917. Licensed, insured, and bonded. You need to call Matt Johnson, Wally.
Hey, Neal, what does this red thing do?
Don't pull on the red wire. That could be dangerous, man. What'd you do? Don't pull on that red wire. Good gravy. Now you've done it. Call Matt Johnson with Stone Cold Heating and Cooling.
Neal!
Man, what have you done?
Man, I done messed up.
The wind got caught in that umbrella.
Man, I can't. Oh, no, here she
Hey
comes.
man, you again? You already crashed my kayak yesterday and got an insurance claim about drowning the surf earlier. Now what happened?
I don't know, man. What, are you injured?
Yeah, I might have to call Jason Jones. What's that number?
You gonna need a splint?
A splint and some oxygen.
Call Jason Jones at Jones Medical. He's gonna need a splint for this injury on the beach. 566-1002. Medical injury at the beach. Can you believe it? Man, what are you doing with that pine straw y'all down here in my Jap maple orchard.
Oh, Neal, man, I'm going to have your Japanese maple orchard look like Augusta International, baby.
Man, if you want your yard to look like Augusta International, you need to call Blake Turner with Turner Mowing, 465-0600. The grass is starting to get green. Everything's starting to bud. My Jap maples are all blooming. Call Blake Turner with Turner Mowing, 465-0600. Oh, my God. Blake, where's your dad?
Made me come outside, the house flooded.
The house flooded. Are you kidding me? What in the world? What in the world, Wally? Man, 3 pipes busted, my house all flooded, Neal. You have got to be kidding, man. Why didn't you call Rand Anderson at Alabama Restoration, 371-5591? You wouldn't be wearing goggles and snorkels and slinging water out the front door? Unbelievable. Alabama Restoration, no disaster is too big. 371-5591. Give them a call today. Wally, what are you doing at Roadmart on 231 in Troy, man? What are you doing at time? Oh, Neal, I'm going to put some 25s on this bad boy. Oh, Lord, 25s? Yeah. They even make 25? Hey, they can do specialty rims at Roadmart here in Troy, Alabama. Hey, they also do brake work. They can change your oil, anything under the hood here at Roadmart on 231. And they can even get Wally some 25s for his rim. 566-3413, Roadmart on 230.
Oh man, that song should be banned.
This is what I hear at your pool.
No,
every
it is
time.
not. You need to
Who
talk
is
to
that?
Robin, man.
Who is that?
That's the Culture Club. Unfortunately, I know that.
Well, you big, every time y'all out there swimming, y'all playing Boy George songs.
No, I don't think so. You better talk to
Well, you
Robin.
and Billy, and I see you and Billy over there, and Brett,
Yeah.
and Doug.
No.
I hear Culture Club playing.
No, not that. You know, that neighbor right behind me, maybe it's her you hear.
Yes, that's her you
maybe
hear.
that's her you hear.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, welcome back, Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. You got your host, Wally, of course, me, and then Mr. James Sparrow.
Yep.
Of course, Neal, he's
vacation.
laughing it up at the beach somewhere, and we were talking about, we don't even know what a vacation is, but we're about to get into some sports, a lot of local sports here, and the first thing we want to talk about is our Dixie softball.
Yep.
So, James, run us down a little bit about our Dixie softball state champs. We've got a lot of them.
Yeah. The Darlings team, the Darlings League, excuse me, was the winner was Montgomery American, and we got a phone call.
Oh, and
Go ahead.
it's Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. Who we have here?
This will be Sky Reader.
Oh, Ned, man, what's going on,
Hey.
buddy?
We're practicing right now.
Practicing right now. Hey, I just want to tell you, congratulations being the state champions of the Bells League of Alabama Dixie Youth Softball.
Yeah, all right,
congratulations, buddy.
I do appreciate it.
Well, hey, tell us a little bit, where will y'all be going, and when does it start, and what do you look at trying to win this thing, the World Series? Give us a rundown.
Well, we start this week. The first, we'll leave on Thursday. It's going to be about a 7-8 hour drive. Opening ceremony is on Friday. And our first game will be Saturday morning against North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Hey Scott, this is James. Congratulations, man. That's a heck of a team you got. I've actually had the privilege to coach a couple of those girls too. How do you feel I know you ain't seen nobody, and you never know when you go to a World Series, but how do you feel you kind of stack up? You got any ideas?
No, I think we stack up pretty good. We are as y'all saw from the game, we can score runs in bunches. This is a very good hitting team, and when they get on a roll, it's hard to stop them.
Yeah. Hey Scott.
We do have a little bit of speed on the team too, so
Yeah.
that always helps.
Hey, let me ask you this, because I've been to a World Series in baseball. You got 12 players on the team. Is the Dixie Bells, do you bat 12 one time through and then bat 9, or you just still bat all 12? How does that work?
Right. It's you bat 12 from inning 1 to inning 7. They all
bat. Okay, so you don't. Okay, well, like you said, we watched your team play in the championship game against AUM, and they hit it 1 through 12. And
Right. Yes. Hit 1 through 12.
When you do that, when your team can hit 1 through 12, that's good 12 bats that you have, and you got girls that can lay bunch down. I mean, Michaela Griffin's batting in 12 hole, and she smoked one up the middle in that game against AUM. So I mean, you've got 12 good sticks. So that should be a real good advantage for you, I think.
It should be, because even at practice, Michaela's she's hit a couple of bombs in practice too. So when your number 12 can hit one over, that's always good for you.
Yeah.
She's a very strong player.
That'll, as an opposing coach, that'll hurt your feelings if the 12-hole batter puts one over the fence now.
Yeah, definitely.
Scott, tell the viewing audience real quick, what is the rule now on the pitch count or innings pitched? Because traditionally, a softball pitcher could pitch every game if they wanted to, but Neal was telling me that Dixie has new rules and regulations on how many innings a girl can pitch.
Well, in Dixie Bells, every girl can pitch 15 innings.
Okay.
They can pitch 8 continuous innings, so if they started the first inning in one game, they can pitch up to 8 innings. And if you played 2 games in one day, they could pitch a total of 10 innings. They said they can pitch 8 innings in a row, 10 innings in one day, and 15 the whole tournament.
Well, with your team, though, as deep as you run in pitching should not be a problem.
It shouldn't be, because Mackenzie Kane,
Yeah.
I don't even think she pitched for us this game. And Mackenzie can pitch, and Molly Garrett, I think Molly only pitched one inning for us the whole tournament.
Right.
So we're still fairly deep in pitching.
Yeah. You got Stella. You got Sadie. It's Wally. It's a talented bunch. It's a really good group, and Scott, I think you'd agree that Green Hill and AUM were your toughest opponents you've played so far this summer?
It is. Well, actually, Green Hill, talking to the parents and the coaches of that team, I think we beat them 15-0 last year in state, and they had made a comment that they have been playing all year to beat Troy. And they actually played in a bunch of travel ball tournaments, and the Underwood team that won state in the Debs, they played them a couple of times in practice games and beat them. But their whole intention was to beat Troy.
Yeah.
And AUM, if I'm not badly mistaken, AUM, this is their 3rd year in a row being runner-up to Troy in the final game of state.
That is correct.
They were young, but that's a solid little bunch. They could make contact at the ball. They didn't have many strikeouts. That was a good little bunch right there.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
And, of course, Neal and I broadcast that game for TC2, which was so bizarro because if the viewing audience don't know this, y'all were playing that up in Underwood, Alabama, which is on the Tennessee line, and they had so many rain and weather delays and lights going out and this. Finally, the head Dixie said, okay, we're going to flip for this. AUM, if you win heads, we're going to play it there. Troy tails. Were you there in the coin flip?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, that game to the lights went out. Molly was actually in right field, and she lost the ball in the darkness.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, then when it came back down, when she saw it the last second, then the lights up there were terrible, and they got caught in the light. Umpire called time. We went out there and looked, and it was. There might as well not have been lights out there. It was that dark.
Wow.
Well,
they tried for about an hour to get the lights working, and they decided just to call it and pick it up the next day.
man, I've seen some bizarre things in baseball in my lifetime, but that up there, y'all, that topped the cake, man. Good gracious.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah, they were going to pick the game up the next day, the championship game, and looking at the radar, there was so much rain coming in, and when the ditch officials came down here Wednesday night, they said we couldn't have played anyway. They said because the rain, a couple of batches came up there, and those fields up there do not hold water.
Well, I'll be honest with you, that's the first time I've ever heard of Dixie officials making a call like that, and actually, that was common sense. You know what I'm saying? You got two teams that are 45 minutes apart. Why are they playing 4 hours away when they can just go home and finish this game? So that was really smart of them. But, Scott, didn't you go last year?
I did.
Okay, so hey, Wally, we got a guy that's been there. He's seen it. He can really relate to these girls about what. And how many of these girls went last year? There's about 6 of them, ain't it?
Well, let's see. Mackenzie Kane, Emmy Bryan, Stella Gilbreth, and Dakota Berry. Those were the four. Those four were on it last year.
Heather Maxwell, wasn't she there?
Yeah, no, that's right. Heather too. So 5 girls. Yeah, Heather was there too. So there's 5 girls right there.
They know what they're going to see, and that's
They do.
That's the biggest thing. The World Series that my son was able to go to, you don't know when you walk in there who you're going to see, but these girls were there last year. You're going to see a different bunch of girls playing against, but the event and everything that goes around with it, these girls are experienced. I'm really pumped about it. I think they got a good shot. So.
Yeah, and it's good having these 5 girls on here from last year because they can kind of tell these girls what to expect. Of course, we're playing on up there in Alexandria on softball. We actually play on a grass infield.
Oh,
wow!
Grass infield.
It's a little bit different, but it's it's like playing on Augusta. The grass is just beautiful up there. That's why last year we went to practice some on the baseball fields, which was I think was a big mistake. But this year we said we're going to practice on the dirt out here because you're going to get true hops off that grass. Nothing crazy or anything.
Yeah, well that's good.
Unbelievable. But I got some good news to give you though, Scott. One of your players has won the Marco's Pizza of the Week, and you know who that is?
I'm going to guess Sadie Leverett.
Yeah, that's right, Sadie Leverett. Let me tell you something. When Neal and I were calling that game, she pitched a heck of a game, and she had 2 doubles. I mean, one we thought were going out. She can hit.
She didn't miss it by much now.
Gosh,
I was out in left field.
Hit the ball, buddy.
Yeah, she had a good game.
So I guess
she had a great game. She did that up there in Underwood. No, it was Vitamin District. She hit the top of the fence. Matter of fact, I've got her right here in front of me. You want to tell her the good news?
Yeah. Put her on the horn.
I got her right here.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing there, One Sock? That's my little nickname for her.
One Sock.
That's me. Congratulations. You are the Marco's Player of the Week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. So you get to get a free pizza. So what time do I need to be at your house for lunch? Tomorrow.
I've never seen somebody that excited about a pizza, man. Hey, Sadie, this is Wally with Sports Chat at Neal and Wally, and I just want to tell you, you played a heck of a game the other night.
Thank you.
I was about to come get your autograph. You were throwing that ball so hard.
Thank you.
You're welcome, girl. You did. Hey, go out there and come back with a World Series, okay?
I will. Thank you.
All right.
Well, let me speak to Coach Ned one more time before we go on commercial break. Well, hey, man, we're up against a commercial break, but we want to tell you thank you for calling, and we wish you a safe travel over there, and also we hope you bring home that World Series.
Go get them, Ned.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'll relay that to the girls, too, that y'all rooting for them.
Okay, we will. And, Scott, thank you so much for calling in, my man.
All right, I appreciate it.
Hey, tell Alf hello for me.
I will.
Okay. All right.
All right, we'll see.
Folks, that was Coach Scott Reeder.
Hey, Wally, before we go, I mean, you know how this Dixie stuff works. The coaches that won the league, their kids, they're usually got kids. Scott Reeder don't have a kid on this team.
He don't have a kid on the team.
He doesn't have a kid on this team, and he's coaching this team. Giving up volunteering his free time, so I mean, that speaks a lot.
I've coached with Ned because he helped Noah coach him and Red and Coach Steve Barron. Good guy. You won't find a better person than Scott Reeder, and he works for Troy Cable and has for a long, long time. So
they're still fundraising. I'm going to throw this in before we go to break. They have a GoFundMe. If you want to just look on Facebook or whatever, check out GoFundMe. It's Troy Bells. They're trying to raise a little bit more money before they go out to it. So if you got a couple dollars, go on to GoFundMe, find them, and see if you can get them some money.
Exactly. Hey, and we're up against a break, so don't leave. We'll be right back.
Yep.
What you got, man?
Man,
What's wrong with this thing?
I done wrecked my kayak, man.
What'd you do? Run into a weather buoy out there?
Yeah, I ran into one of those
Out in the
weather
Gulf?
buoys. Yeah, I sure did, man.
Unbelievable, man. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about all this?
I don't know, man.
Cracked up
I got to go see that
Have
lake.
any insurance?
Ma'am?
Insurance?
I don't have any
He
insurance.
should have went to Crease Insurance Agency out on 231 and got him some insurance. Now he's got to pay cash money for this kayak, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does.
Listen to the beach worker right here. He's got to pay cash for his kayaks. Visit Mike Crease, the Crease Agency, the only insurance agent you'll ever need. Wally, where you been, man?
Neal, I've been across the street
Good
over
Lord,
there.
what are you gonna do with all that?
I was across the street over there. The line was out the door, man. And I saw the UPS store, so I thought I'd come in here and see
Well,
if
I'm
I
glad
can
you
get
came
the
to the
mail.
UPS store.
Welcome to the UPS store. Let me help you with that.
Good, look at this, man. Can you help him mail all this?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Good deal.
I'll have
Hey,
it and everything for you.
Grade A customer service at the UPS store. Give them a call today, 566-9470. Don't go across the street. Go to the UPS store for all your copying, printing, and shipping needs.
Hey, Neal, man, I need some help, man. I watched Point Break last night with Patrick Swayze.
What happened? Here comes the lifeguard.
Same guys, yesterday you already wrecked my kayak and got an insurance claim right now.
Are you okay?
Man, I think I
Pulled your leg muscle?
pulled my leg muscle.
You're going to have to go to Health Action to get that worked out with physical therapy. Give them a call, 670-5435. Health Action's in front of Hook's Barbecue. Man, I hope you're okay.
Hey, Neal, what's going on, brother?
What are you doing with that wood?
Oh, man, my neighbor's out of town, so I'm going to fire me up a barbecue pit right here.
Wait. I don't think this is a barbecue pit.
Yeah, it is a barbecue pit. I'm hungry, man, so I'm going to make some barbecue.
Haven't I told you? Call Hook's Barbecue, 808-8008 for all your barbecue needs. Go through the drive-thru, get you some ribs, get you some barbecue. What are you doing at James Sparrow's house? This is not a barbecue.
I think it's a barbecue grill.
That is not a barbecue grill. All your cater needs when your family comes home, 808-8008, Hook's Barbecue. They'll handle all your barbecue needs.
Wally, what you got there? Hey, man, I'm fishing for sharks, dude. Cane pole and wigglers? Oh, heck yeah, man. When you're deep south of barrel, you look good, you feel good, you can fish good.
Well, I got on deep south.
What you got? I got a big shark. Could be Charles's cousin. With a cane pole.
Call Pete Van Horn, Deep South Apparel. Look for him on Facebook. Deep South Apparel. You might catch a shark. Wait a minute. Break it. It broke. The shark broke the hook. We're going to get him next time.
Who's that?
Blue sky. That's all I can think of right now. I'm going
That's
on
for
blank.
Frank Scarlett.
Is that for Frank?
That's
Frank
Almond
White?
Brothers.
Oh, Almond, yeah, I knew that.
Almond Brothers. Well, guess what? We got another guest on the line.
We're popular.
And he's one of our big sponsors.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
Jones Medical Supply.
Oh.
The legendary.
Well, it's coincidence he calls in during baseball talk.
Oh, I'm telling you. Welcome, Mr. Jason Jones, man.
I was calling in to break up baseball.
Oh,
man. Well, I told you, man, and we're live now, but James said you was a huge baseball fan, man.
Yeah, I tell you, I really love that sport, and I've taught 50 sports or so. It's about 49 or 50 in mine.
Oh, man. Well, welcome, Jason Jones. And let me tell you, we asked you to call in because I have seen a lot on Facebook, and I've heard a lot of chatter that the Troy 101 at the Stadium Club was the biggest ever. So tell the viewing audience about this and why y'all started this and why is it becoming so big.
Well, I wish I could take some credit for anything, but I'll be honest. This year, I simply just wrote a check and became the presenting sponsor, I guess, and it got us involved with it for the first time. And credit goes back several years ago. I guess it was Coach Blakeney's last year. They decided to do Troy Football 101 for women. And the point is that, a lot of men understand the ins and outs of football. They understand, the X's and O's and can talk the game. But there's a lot of wives and a lot of daughters who don't get it. And they ask questions. And so it started several years ago with Coach Blakeney, and it's just gotten bigger every year. And to Coach Brown's credit, Brooke really took it on in their 4 years here, and she really made it her own thing and added a lot of things to it and made it a much bigger deal than what it was in the early years. And now Coach Lindsay and his wife Cecily did a really good job this year of just doing a lot of stuff. And so the event itself is a couple hours, 2.5 hours there at the Stadium Club in the North End Zone facility on the practice field. It involved some local boutiques being out there and showing off Troy Trojan gear and for the ladies and just women everywhere. I mean, there's a ton of women there, and then they took them through the facility and gave them a tour, which the average Joe's not going to be able to see the North End Zone and get that tour. But these ladies were able to see everything and understand the ins and the outs, and they went through some strength stuff and the whole process through the locker room and some various drills out on the practice field, and it's just a way for them to learn more about the game and to know more about what's going on, and when they sit out there for 3.5 hours on a Saturday to understand it a little bit better. Andy Britton, one of the SEC officials, was there going over rules and rule changes. Christy came home telling me about a new targeting rule that they're changing this year, and then they're making changes to a blocking rule about hitting below the knees on the defensive side. So there's new stuff that these ladies know about that we don't even know about.
That is cool.
Which they'll tell you that's the chase all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true. But hey, I wanted to tell you that my family's got to know Cecily and Coach Chip Lindsay. Their son played on my son's state baseball team, and let me tell you, they are two good people. They are
nice
some
folks.
fine individuals. They're very outgoing, and it just tickles me to death that they're back here in Troy, and we wish them the best luck, especially with this season coming up. But when I just heard that there was more folks ever at this event, I'm like, man, we got to get Jason on here to talk about it. Let me ask you this, is it open for next year for more sponsors?
Yeah. The way it works is there's one presenting sponsor, and then other people get involved as well. But I actually text Aaron Hitchcock there at Troy Sports Properties that night. I said, all right, I want this again next year. It was good for my business. It was good to attach us. We've got a great partnership with Troy Athletics, and it was just another way for us to partner with them. And they did a tremendous job of putting our name out there from a business standpoint. And, talking to all those ladies about CPAPs and sleep apnea and all those things that we do. And it was great for us. It was great for the community to have a great crowd. And not everybody's as fortunate as I am. I married a coach's daughter who understands football. But there's a lot of ladies out there who don't get it. And I've got a 13-year-old who every game, it seems like she'll say, why do they go for a 3 and not go for a touchdown? So I have to explain that they're trying to score a touchdown all the time, but sometimes you have to kick a field goal. So you learn those things, and you got to train them young. But it's a great thing that the athletic department is doing, and they did a great job pushing it. And like I said, it was great for us as a business, and we really appreciate what they did.
That is neat. And I know, like I said, Jones Medical Supply, you see it all over Troy University Athletics, man. I tell you, you are a great sponsor for them, and as well as us with Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. And I know we got another commercial we got to do for you soon, and we're going to do something with the CPAP. That's Neal keeps on telling me about that.
We will make sure it's something quality with these two fine individuals who do those commercials. I know them.
Yeah, the TENS unit. The TENS unit commercial was my favorite.
That was a good one. That was a very good one.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for calling in and giving us a little recap for the Troy 101, and I was so happy it was very successful again for you guys this year. And next year, I just have to make my show notes and try to get you on maybe a week or two before, to get the word out a little more and stuff.
Absolutely. They probably could do a baseball 101 if anybody gave a rip about baseball. I think they do.
And nobody cares about that, do
Nobody
they?
cares about baseball. Jason,
Hey, how's the field looking? Have you seen the field?
It looks great. It looks really good.
Yeah.
They don't have the logos down, but they've got and the turf's not finished, but the whole field was covered. And I tell you, that odd even look they've got going with the turf and those cardinal end zones, it looks really, really nice.
That's good.
Do you got any connections at Wilmington? Can you help those folks get turf like that at Wilmington instead of just grass?
I do not. Unfortunately, I think that one ranks actually right behind baseball, so I didn't.
That's number 50?
Is that number 50?
It's 50.
Hey, he kills me, man. Well, Jason, we'll let you go, but hey, thank you so much for calling in, my man.
Thanks, guys. I'm holding the street down, making sure there's nothing going on.
Yeah, keep it down. Lock it down.
All right. Folks, that was Jason Jones, the owner of
He's a good dude.
Of Jones Medical Supply. And again, when James and I were talking earlier about him calling, James said, "Hey, I'm going to have to
gig him about baseball.
Gig him about baseball since he don't like baseball." That's
he doesn't like
hilarious.
baseball.
Well, what else we got with DC?
Well, we can
sports?
go back
We
to
need
the softball before Scott called. We were going through the state champs.
Yeah, the state champs.
The Darlings League, which is 800, that's Coach Pitch. The Montgomery American was that one. You have two Angels League. Traditional, Zion Chapel won that one. And Angels X-Play, Montgomery American won that one. And then the Ponytails, which was Neal's team.
There they are. Look at
the Dothan team won that, but Neal and them, that was a good team right there. They finished third, which that's well representing Troy. And then obviously the Bells, who we talked to Scott Reeder, they won the state championship and are headed to the World Series. So, Troy did well in all of those. We don't have a traditional. We play X-Play.
Yeah, what is this? Angels X-Play, traditional?
It's just a matter of the rules. Traditional is there's no stealing, and a lot of the base running aspects you have in real softball, they're not there. You just stay base. You go station to station, this, that, and the other. Whereas X-Play, you can steal, you can do all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like the difference between ozone baseball and regular and Dixie Minor. So, but anyway, but those were the state champs for the softball.
All right, and I tell you what, we're up against commercial break. But when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about Dixie U baseball.
Okay. So
And
Jason Jones didn't get us
Jason
off.
Jones didn't get us off.
He just stalled it.
Because, hey, we got a 6U team right now in Mississippi that is sure enough putting it to it.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we're going to take a commercial break, talk about that, along with my good man, Tommy Fleetwood. He didn't do too well today. We'll talk about it when we get back.
Moving on up to the big time. What's going on, Monopoly man?
Oh man, Neal,
You got money going everywhere.
I have bought up every bit of Troy, Alabama, but I'm missing a few spots right down here. Who can I call?
Man, you need to call Toby and Dina Adams at the Alabama Real Estate Connection. They'll let you finish buying all of Troy and Pike County. They're the best agents in town. They will work the hardest to get you the best deal. Give them a call, 566-4765. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Hey, they're dealing at the Alabama Real Estate Connection.
Well, hey there, Mr. Wally. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good. How'd you get in here?
I better not tell you.
Uh-oh.
They don't even open till 4.
Well, I'm waiting to hear Mr. Lenny Traver play, and I'm gonna give him one of these bad boy steaks that they won an award for.
Best steak in the state. Also, best catfish awards a couple years in a row. Hey, my personal favorite is the fried shrimp and the cheese grits. Also, not mentioning the cheese biscuits that come out before the meal. You're going to love that.
I know.
And a little live music, like you said, Mr. Lenny Trawick, you can't beat it down at the old barn in Goshen, Alabama. Come see them.
Come see us.
Man, what in the world? You just ain't T-bone me right here. What the heck? Playing with fidget spinner? Wally, did you have a wreck?
Mr. Wally.
Man, this girl right here is playing with this fidget spinner, texting on the phone and T-bone me right here in the parking lot. I was about to go pay my speeding ticket.
Right here at the police station?
Yeah.
Well, luckily at the police station, we can just call All-Star Collision 808-8822. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. Can I have the fidget spinner back?
Yeah, you can have
Please,
it.
Mr. Wally.
All
Thank
she's
you.
worried about is a fidget spinner. Call All-Star Collision for all your accidents. 808-8822.
You gained donuts? Roughing the kicker. Roughing the kicker.
What kind of call is that? You can't see nothing.
Yeah, I
you can't
can.
throw a football flag in a basketball game.
Yeah, I can.
You need to go get your eyes checked, like for real check.
Where at?
Troy Eye Care, 566-7172. Troy Eye Care on Highway 87. Don't be calling basketball unless you get your eyes checked.
Oh, Wally, what are you doing back here?
Oh, I'm steaming the sandwich.
That thing's hot now.
I can tell you.
They serve hot steam sub sandwiches here at Mama Goldberg's in Troy, Alabama. And you will burn yourself on that steam. Hey, they got Rice Krispie treats, double doozy chocolate chip cookies, regular chocolate chip cookies, cakes in a cup, chili, potato soup, you name it. Great atmosphere. They have bands on Thursday nights. Come see them at Mama Goldberg's for a hot steam sandwich, Wally.
I can tell you.
Troy, Alabama.
He did, huh? Where did he find all these things?
You know who that is?
That's Jimmy Buffett. I
Jimmy
knew that
Buffett,
one.
the captain and the
Jimmy
kid, man. That's digging back an old giddy chest right there,
Yeah, yeah, that's-
1975.
I like Jimmy Buffett. I'm fitting to head down to the beach for some softball, so
I love
that gets you in the mood for it.
Speaking of Jimmy Buffett and funny stuff, Dave, what is our Facebook funny of the week here? And it says, sign up for my company's 401k, but I'm nervous because I've never ran that far. I've ran in a 5K before, but never run in a 401k.
You ran in a 5K?
Walked.
You
actually.
walked? Okay.
Just walked it.
Would that take about 12 hours?
13, but it got it. Okay, a little bit about the 6U World Series recap and some of the Dixie boys. I know you got a few things like Coach Huner. And
Well, I mean, we can start with the Sixes. They're in just south of
Natchez.
Jackson, Brookhaven. They're in Brookhaven right now, which is just south of Jackson, Mississippi, playing. There's a picture of them right there. I know they have been beating the brakes off of their pool play opponents. I haven't heard an update. Today was supposed to be the last day, and I think they got in a rain delay and hadn't heard an update. I know they won earlier 12 to 3 or
they
something.
won this morning 12-3,
Yeah.
but they were about to play Hueytown.
Yeah.
Now, I
Okay.
talked to Coach Brookins just briefly. He said that other side of the bracket, there are a couple good teams. So I
Okay.
think now they're getting to the point where
Yeah.
It's going to be very competitive.
That's right. Cream rises to the top.
Exactly.
All the time.
So
they, Scott Ross, the coach of that team, but he spoke real highly of those kids. So maybe they can bring it home. We'll just have to see.
and this is the inaugural 6U World Series. So wouldn't that be great to have?
Oh yeah, Troy would be the first name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. And it's funny. Scott touched on it right there when he talked about Green Hill playing all year long to beat Troy. Every time we walked in to an opening ceremonies or we walked into anywhere we were at, state tournament or World Series, maybe not World Series, but in the state tournaments, they were all going with their Troy.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what age group you were. It didn't matter if it was our age group or Noah and them. Troy was one of the favorites to win.
Oh yeah,
in
always
softball and in baseball. And
Exactly.
so even in this 6U, which is the first year they did it, I guarantee you, everybody that was up there goes, Troy's going to bring a team. And matter of fact, the first year we did pitching machine, we were playing Eufaula, and we played them in the first round of the district, and the coach told me, he said, well, we lost this when our team found out we were playing y'all the first round.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago. So, but, but we got another team going to a World Series. The 8U, which is Coach Fitch as well, is going, I'm not sure where they're going. Do you know where they're going?
I don't know where they're going.
But I know Troy Jenwright's a coach on that team. There's a couple other guys that, I'm drawing a blank, but anyway, they're going to a World Series as well.
Yeah, and then we have actually your older son. Y'all going to a World Series.
That's the Ozark team. Bailey played with Ozark 17U this year. We won the state tournament last weekend, and we're headed over to Sterling in Louisiana at the end of the week to go and compete in what's called the Dixie Pre-Majors, which is 17 and under.
Is that close to Duck Dynasty Place? Can you pick me up?
Right there, Monroe.
So you going
Sterlington's
to
there, Monroe's right there.
So you gonna
Monroe, Sterling.
Get me a hat or something?
I'll
or
go over there and
sticker
get
or
you
something
something.
just for
I'll
me?
go see if they can give me. Maybe there's a roll of toilet paper I can steal from Uncle Si for you. I'll see if I can get a sweet tea jug for you.
Sweet, there you go. That's what I do, man.
But
I'll
that's
keep
a
an eye on
good.
your house.
That's a good ball club right there. Bailey's played a lot of different levels of ball, a lot of different travel ball, and I'd take that team and play any team we've seen. That's a good bunch. There's 3 or 4 from GW Long. We got 2 from Charles Henderson, him and Darrell Lee. Levi Sykes from Pike Lib is on that team.
Oh man.
Landon Thrash, who goes to Ayrton, who they used to be
David
at Pike Lib.
Thrash,
Yep,
yeah.
he's on that team. There's a couple from 2 from Providence, 1 from Headland. It's a really good ball team, and it's a lot of fun to watch them play. So we're going to head over there to Sterlington, which ironically is where Chris Huner and the 15Us just came back from. Dixie's trying to build this little 15U tournament up, and so they went and played. That picture you see right there is of those 4 guys won the Around the Horn Skills Challenge. I think it was 6 seconds, maybe something like that, around the horn. So basically, you just, as you go, you first, second, third, home. That on the picture is Brady Huner, Phoenix Griffin, Jeff Ward, and Noah Prestwood.
So
And they won the Around the Horn at the World Series. Now, the team come up a little short.
Yeah.
You've been in a lot of Dixie tournaments, and all the Dixie tournaments we talked about. This one's a little different setup. You don't play just a double elimination tournament. That is a pool play tournament. So there's 4 teams in that pool, and you play each other, and the winner of the pool advances to a tournament. And Troy came up a little short against North Charleston. They beat the brakes off of their first 2 opponents. So they played really well. I think they just kind of maybe lacked a little hitting the ball. I will say this, the kid that was pitching was about as big as Will Reeves is right now. I mean, he's huge.
He's a big guy.
Yeah. So they came up a little short, but they went over there and they represented Troy, Alabama well. I think they had a good time, and that was a good ball club too. So,
Well, that is neat. So we've kind of recapped a lot with softball and baseball. And
we got to mention the Enterprise though.
Oh yeah, the Enterprise.
Enterprise Dixie boys won. They were 14U runner-ups.
The runner-ups. We got a lot of Enterprise listeners and people that
absolutely,
watch
yeah.
us and stuff.
Yep. It's good baseball teams down in Enterprise too.
Well, that is neat.
Yep.
And so that'll finish up with our Dixie Youth sports for here.
I think that winds up baseball, so Jason Jones can turn the TV back.
So he can turn the TV back on. But hey, next thing on our agenda is some golf stuff. And I wanted to say Chase Calhoun of Pike Liberal Arts, he finished third in the Gadsden tournament. There he is on the left-hand side. Great player. I see him at the club sometimes playing here and there, and just a great kid. So that is unbelievable. And also the Alabama High School AHSAA All-Star, Griffin McCrary and Adam Kilpatrick won their match by most points earned for the South team. They won 13-6. So unbelievable. Man, we got some great young golfers here in Troy.
Yeah.
I mean, just incredible. And
I wish I'd have picked golf up at that age.
I know I do too. You know, say I didn't pick it up until when we got in college. Man, I know Griffin McCrary and Chase Calhoun. Man, they were hitting the balls when they were like 5 years old.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's incredible. And speaking of Griffin McCrary, his dad Colin, and I'm gonna tell you, I know Neal and I talked about it. We're gonna get Colin on the show, and he's gonna talk to us about the British Open.
Yeah, he went over there.
He's over there. I think this is his third time going over there, and he's actually a spotter. But my man, sadly, Tommy Fleetwood came in second place. He was that. Oh, what type of picture is that? Unbelievable.
Always a bridesmaid.
Unbelievable.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Oh my goodness. Well,
He
let me
had
tell
no
you.
chance.
Yes,
of
he
winning
did.
today. No, he didn't.
Shane,
Not with that weather.
Shane Lowry.
Shane Lowry.
He hit it minus 15, and then Fleetwood came in second, shooting -9, and then our only American that placed was Tony Finian, and he finished third. But let me tell you, that was so interesting watching the British Open because of the time lapse,
Yeah.
And it was funny at church this morning. Brother Andrew, we were talking about, he said, "Who's watching?" I mean, who's looking at the Bible on their phone? And people raise their hand. He said, "Who's looking at the British Open?"
Do you make sure you raise that?
I did not. I have my phone, but I did not look because let me tell you. What's weird. Saturday morning, Fleetwood and Westwood and all them, they teed off like at 10:30, our local time. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna go to church this morning, come back, and I'm gonna get to watch the British Open. Well, dadgum, when I was leaving the church, it was in the 17th hole.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was probably the weather elements, because if you did watch, let me tell you something.
Well, that's why I say he didn't have any chance. Because, I mean, with the lead that Lowry had, there wasn't anybody going to make a move with that weather. The only thing that they could hope for was Lowry didn't handle the weather, and he came back to the field. That's why I say your boy didn't have a chance, because he was second. He started the day 4 back or 5 back?
4 back. He was
4 back. So you had 30-mile-an-hour winds and rain. I mean, that's not great scoring conditions, as they say in golf. So Lowry had to come back to the field for your boy to have a chance, and he didn't do that.
Good gracious. But I love me some Tommy Fleetwood, man. He is such a smooth golfer. And he's going to win a major one day. I don't know when it is, but I know y'all make fun of him, and Neal makes fun of him, and our producer makes fun of him, giving that quirky little picture he just threw
But
up.
that's how he looks right there. He's got the mullet and the beard. That's him.
Well, maybe he don't have money to get a haircut.
You finished second in the British Open, you got some money.
You got some money.
You got a little bit. I mean, I know the winner probably got $1 million or $2 million. He probably cleared pretty close to $1 million.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, listen, we're almost up against our last break of the evening, but don't turn that channel. We're going to be right back. We're going to talk a little bit of Troy football and maybe touch a little bit about Auburn and when they play Oregon. We'll be right back.
Mr. Neal, is this the crazy guy that does the sports show with you?
Yes, it is. Wally, what are you doing up here at Globe? How long has he been up here?
He's been up here for like an hour, and he hasn't moved, and he's scaring all the customers.
Wally, I know you said you were going to Globe to get Holly a birthday present, but you're taking this a little bit to extremes, don't you think? Acting like a mannequin? We're going to have to call the law. Come to Globe for all your needs up on the square. Globe Boutique. Good morning, everybody. This is Neal from Sports Chat with Neal and Wally. It's time for my morning biscuit. I want you to look how big that biscuit is. I'm going to put this butter on that biscuit. Came from the Pig Cafe out on North 3 Notch. Go see Yanni. Get you a real biscuit. Hey, Wally. What you got there?
Where'd you get that biscuit at?
This is Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch. Where'd you get that?
Oh man, 231, one of those big box chain stores out there.
Man,
They even got a paper straw.
Man, look at the size of that little thing. Look at
Good
it.
gracious.
I'm about to put butter on this. It's 3 times the size of that.
I should have gone see Yanni.
Go to the Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch or call them for catering 334-770-0134. Get a real biscuit.
Don't want a wimpy biscuit.
What are you doing in the surgery room at Southern Animal Hospital Pet Resort?
I'm about to circumcise this dog.
Man, don't circumcise that dog. Let Dr. Steve Barron help you with the spaying and neuter process. Give him a call. Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort, 770-1838. You got to be a medical professional and board certified to perform these kind of dog procedures on surgery. Give him a call. Southern Animal Pet Hospital Resort. Wally, what are you doing in that Mustang GT 350 out here at Pike County Ford?
Man, I'm about to buy this sweet ride and hit 231 and put my fuzz buster on there, bro.
And you're going to need a fuzz buster in that thing. Is that a 5-speed manual shift?
Yeah, it is.
My
5-speed like a
God,
race
what
car, man.
Sweet ride. Look at the clutch, everything, man. Hey, up to $5,000 more than Kelly Blue Book value on your trade-in. Come see them at Pike County Ford. They're dealing.
Hey, Neal, how are you today?
I'm good. I want some of these chicken nuggets. Well, I want them down here at Crows and Brundies. Wally, what are you doing in the kitchen at Crows and Brundies?
Oh man, I'm trying to steal the secret sauce recipe.
Man, they're not going to give you the secret sauce recipe. Put that sauce back. Patsy, now he's got the sauce. Unbelievable. Come see them at Crows and Brundies. Hey, they got fried okra, catfish on Friday nights, wings, honey barbecue wings, any kind of wings, and the best chicken nuggets in the world. Come see them. Crows and Brundies.
Who's that?
I have no idea. You'll have to just tell me.
That's Sling Blade, the movie. Didn't you
Oh,
see Sling Blade?
I
the movie?
did, but I ain't got no gas.
Got no gas.
Ain't no
There you
gas.
go. Well, hey, to finish up this evening, we did want to talk a little bit about Troy University football because, hey, Barry McKnight was telling me the other day on his morning show that he's going to be in the Superdome this week for Sun Belt
Media days?
media days and stuff. And I will tell you this, James, Troy is slated to come in second in the Sun Belt behind, again, Appalachian State. Now, I don't believe, I think Troy's going to have a real strong team. Appalachian State, I mean, they've dug in the wells too many times. I just think it's going to be an off year.
I just never put. I know preseason polls have their place and everybody. I guess they're just for this purpose right here, just to talk.
Just to
but
talk,
I
yeah.
mean, let's see what happens when you strap it on and get on the field. But I guess since we're talking about football, the bad news is if we're talking about football, that means school's fixing to start for the kids. So.
Oh yeah, the school.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see the difference between Lindsey and Brown and what they do and how it is, and I mean, I think they're both two good coaches. So I look for Troy to still be successful.
Yeah, but you look, Troy does have a pretty tough schedule. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they actually going to Missouri. They're going to play Missouri, and David Hennigan was telling me the other night that they're going to be playing another. And it's not an SEC team, but
Yeah, I don't remember the schedule.
Rice or I don't know who it is, but they're going to see them on the road to play.
Well, I know they should be well suited at quarterback. I mean, because the young man that hurt his knee last year, he's back. One kid left. I do know that. I remember that. But Jacob Free comes, the kid from Vandy. I mean, the
Brantley.
left Vandy who's from Brantley. He's back. They had 4 quarterbacks. There's not a lot of schools around that got 4 quarterbacks to choose from.
Exactly.
And so I look forward to seeing what they do. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it is going to be a lot of fun, and we are going to have Coach Lindsey on the show in a couple of weeks. He told myself and Neal that he's going to grace us and come sit down and talk to
That'd
us,
be
so
fun.
we're looking forward to that. And then going a little bit on the SEC side, I know Auburn opens up with Oregon. Who is predicted Oregon's supposed to win the Pacific 12? So how crucial, James, is this game for Gus Malzahn?
Man, if you
Think
listen
about it.
to all the media, it's like the game, from what I hear. But now, I mean,
Now, is this game in Texas?
yes, it's at Texas.
So it's going to be a night game. It's going to be
I believe it's at the Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's going to be. I think game day is going to be there that day.
Game day is
or
gonna
so,
be.
I think. But anyway, I mean, it's a big game regardless whether it's about Gus or not. It's a big game, and Auburn's played Oregon before and been successful, but it's the Pac-12, so they're not going to have a lot of defense as usual.
Yeah,
so.
they're not. But to me, again, the reason I put it on the show notes is because I think it's going to be a crucial game for Gus. Because what happens if they come up short? Is that just going to derail their season, the entire season?
Used to one loss and you were done.
Yeah.
Now I think one
that's
loss.
not the case.
Yeah, one loss you're okay, but the fact that you start with one loss on the first game, it makes you're digging out of a hole.
Exactly. And with Bama, they open up with Duke, so I don't know.
The basketball game or football game?
What I was thinking. They do these games like 6 years out. Yeah. I wonder why Saban said, well, we're just going to play Duke open up.
I don't know. Maybe he's got a relationship with Cutcliffe.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But anyway, hey, that's coming around the corner too.
Yeah.
I mean, football is.
It's fixing to be August. We're 2 weeks away from
good
August.
Gracious, can you believe that?
It's
And like you
flown
said,
by.
school's about to start.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Well, what about a little bit on the Major League Baseball? I know you're a huge Dodgers
Dodgers
fan.
fans
Now,
tearing it up, man.
Dodgers tearing it up.
They're leading their division by 14 games. The next closest team, I think, is
Probably
the
Cubs.
Yankees. The Yankees are winning by
What about my
9 games.
Cubbies, though?
There's not a lot going on in the Central, so I
man.
haven't really. Let's see, NL Central. I don't remember. They're doing all right. There was. I watched the thing today about perfect games. It was really good. It was really interesting to watch the perfect. The mindset of a pitcher through a perfect game, which there hadn't been one this year, so maybe there'll be one. But you can't get back on baseball. Jones just turned the TV off. So.
Oh yeah, well we had to do that. But I was going to tell you one thing. We were talking about this while we were calling. Neal and I were calling the game the other night. In baseball, even the Major League, and Brian, our neighbor, he coached. I mean, he played in the Major League for many years. You don't see that a lot now, where you got a pitcher starts first inning and he finishes the ninth. You just don't see a lot of it.
No, complete games are getting smaller,
they're just
rarer and rarer. But it happens. Let's see. Here you go. The Yankees are. Let's see. You asked about your Cubbies. Well, look at there. They're 2.5 games up in the Central.
Yeah, Cubs gonna win the World Series.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. My Dodgers are 67 and 35.
Good gracious. But see, Dodgers cheat a lot. That's the deal. Well, listen, we are closing out on our time here, but I wanted to thank you again personally before we go off, coming on the show and helping me out while Neal's away. You always do a great job, James, and people love you, and you're so much into the sport, especially in softball, since your daughter plays, and Bailey, your son, he's won a couple of pizzas before. Very athletic. I thank God he take it from Robin and not.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for being on the show, and on behalf of David Doty, our executive producer, we thank you for watching. We'll be back next Sunday, and hopefully some of our 6U team will be joining us if they win the World Series.
Well,
I'd like to bring Scott Ross and them on there.
They'd have
So
a blast.
y'all keep it real. So without that, we're going to close out, and thank you, and y'all have a great week.
Have a
This
good
is
evening.
Wally and James Sparrow.